We've got a full-blown weekend meltdown by Donald Trump as the Epstein scandal continues to wreak havoc on his administration. He took to Truth Social and wrote, "What's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files, no matter how much success we have had, securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years, and we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she was looking into as AG, and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Now, this message tells us a lot. First of all, Trump is clearly in a full-blown panic about the Epstein files. Do you really think that if there was nothing at all incriminating within those files, that he would voluntarily choose to prolong what has become the biggest scandal of his presidency? I mean, honestly, just look at the disastrous coverage from his closest allies that this drama has ushered in.
Do you believe that DOJ and FBI right now, with the guys who are all close to Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, do you think they have any credibility left to pursue this?
No, and I'll tell you exactly why, Steve, because in 2016, we trusted the plan with Trump. But now Trump has become the deep state. The exact thing we voted him in.
Why do you say he's become the deep state?
What is more deep state than covering up for pedophiles? Why would you go to that island? Why? Tell me, why would you go to that island?
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't like answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February.
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fucking idiots, guys. Just to let you know, we're wasting
look
time.
At us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
That is, like, in all seriousness, that is, I think, what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously, the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously, the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something changed because they ran on this idea of exposing it all.
Yep.
All these guys had great ideas. Cockeyed Cash, Dan Bongino.
He had clips, dog. He had bars.
He was ready to tear it all down. He was ready to tear down the entire FBI office.
Shut down the Hoover building day one.
Day one.
That bitch still standing.
And then he goes on Joe Rogan and he's like, listen, do you think if I had it, I wouldn't share it with you?
I do.
Yeah.
Timing of it.
Come on.
Just seems.
Come on.
It seems like I'll take how do we get the attention off of Epstein for 500, please, Alex.
I hope this story breaking today isn't just a cover story or diversion from the giant fiasco with the FBI and DOJ doing a 180 on Epstein.
So that's it? No client list? Epstein killed himself? No further investigations? Case closed?
Hey, we're going to do an investigation. Now, we can't tell you about the investigation because it's under investigation, so we can't actually talk about the investigation of the people that are being investigated, but they're under investigation.
We don't rise and fall with Trump. We need him. It's a historic thing that's happening. But that said, I'm not breaking my integrity or my morals or what I stand for nobody.
Now, think about this logically. If all Trump had to do was stem the bleeding and make all of this go away was to simply release the files, don't you think he would do it? Which raises the obvious question, why isn't Donald Trump just releasing these files? What could Trump possibly have to hide when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, I really do want to be fair here and not jump to any rash conclusions, but something tells me that when it comes to Trump and Epstein, I don't know, there's just this feeling I get that there's more to their relationship than meets the eye. But hey, maybe I'm just being paranoid and there's actually no there. Am I right? And of course, when Trump feels backed into a corner, what does he do? He lashes out at who else but Joe Biden. I spoke with Mark Elias about why the Biden administration might not have felt the need to release anything. Here's what he had to say.
If I had to guess, like the way you make sense of all of this is that, the Biden administration said, look, the guy committed suicide, and that's the beginning and end of the story, because the Biden administration were filled with adults who were like worrying about war and peace around the world, and we're not interested in furthering discussion of a single criminal case in America with someone who had killed himself.
Yeah.
But that is different than the level set that the Trump administration came in, which is, are we going to release all the records? And I kind of doubt that they've released all the records.
Yeah.
I think that the Biden world was like, well, why would we release all the records? This is a closed criminal case.
Right, but to your point, the Biden administration was not filled with a bunch of podcast hosts who staked all of their credibility on releasing all of the records.
Right, and Merrick Garland never said, I have all the records sitting on my desk and I'm going to review them and release them.
Right.
But I suspect, based on the way people are behaving, is that there is something in some records that is profoundly disquieting or embarrassing for someone in the Trump administration or for their supporters or for something, and they've just decided not to release it. And maybe Dan Bongino, that's just too far from, but I don't know.
And at the end of the day, that's the thing. Biden and his officials in their White House did not stake their brands or their credibility on this thing. It just wasn't a priority. Epstein died in 2019 when Trump was first in office. This was never really a Biden thing. But Trump's White House is composed of a lot of people who focused on this relentlessly. If they had any mandate coming into Trump's second term, it was to release these files. We heard it from Kash Patel. We heard it from Dan Bongino, Alina Habba, Pam Bondi, even Donald Trump himself. They brought it up. They staked their reputations on this, meaning you don't get to diffuse responsibility onto Biden because this has nothing to do with Biden and everything to do with you, Donald Trump. You're the president, not Biden. And if you're making the decision to withhold information now, which it sure seems like is the case, that's not on the previous president, it's on the current one. The reality is that Donald Trump is very clearly trying his level best to talk about anything other than Jeffrey Epstein. He literally posted this morning, quote, "Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interests of our country, I am giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She is a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America." He's not going to denaturalize Rosie O'Donnell, but this is a perfect example of the lengths that he will go to in his effort to distract everyone. Unfortunately for him, it didn't work. And so instead, he just came out and posted, quote, "Let's not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about," when very clearly they do. I don't know how much more obvious you can make it that there is something that scares Donald Trump about these files. And if he thought that that was going to make all these people look away, he's about to learn a quick lesson in reality. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.